How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, then you should hit the subscribe button, obviously, because it's the only reason why I get out of bed in the morning, to be honest, is if people don't subscribe, I go to bed and cry myself to sleep. So let me explain what's going on, probably with the thumbnail that you've clicked on, as well as, you know, why all board presets suck. Most of them do. I would say it's over 90% of stuff that you will buy will not be very good. But there are some phenomenal, and I do mean phenomenal, preset makers out there, and you should, you know, be very careful about who you buy them off and do a lot of good research and make sure that you're getting the right thing off the right guy or lady or non-binary elephant or whatever it is. This come from a preset that I did a long time ago. It was off a totally different firmware, and somebody had actually messaged me on YouTube and said, "Oh, notice you got a Bryan Adams patch there. You know, why haven't you put that on custom tone?" The reason for that is that it was just a last-minute fill-in gig. I banged the patch together and used it in a Bryan Adams tribute cover thing for a couple of gigs, and that was it. And I just got rid of it. So I thought, well, let's build it again using the retro reel and putting the tile reverb on, because I wasn't using that at the time. It was kind of just a straight thing. So what I'll say is, regarding presets, there's a couple of things that you have to take into account. Well, there's actually a lot of things you've got to take into account. So when these people make these presets and they spend all their time putting stuff in, you then will get that preset, and 9 times out of 10, it won't feel right and it won't sound right to you. That is because their playback system, their speakers, even their cables, the strings that they use, the guitar that they use, the EQ that they use in the studio is going to be completely different to what you've got at home. So you need to take that into account. That's a massive thing that a lot of people don't realise. And I've been there myself. You know, I've downloaded somebody's stuff and gone, what the fuck? What? It sounds nothing like it. And that is because, you know, if you're, and people do this, but if you're going to download a preset that is primarily for a Fender Strat and then you putting it through a big EMG loaded active Les Paul, it's going to sound a world away. So you've got to be aware of that. So like I say, I'm not saying all preset builders and sellers are bad. They're not. They, you know, 95% of them are shit, but 5% of them are really good, and you should go and check them out. You know who they are. All right, so that being said, one of the things that does come up with preset building is feel. If I was to make this, I mean, this is using the 2204 mod, which is, you know, the Marshall JCM100 mod or whatever that Line 6 did. If I was to do this with a high watt or something similar and kind of drove the front end with a distortion pedal, it wouldn't be the same for me. It really wouldn't. I wouldn't like it one bit. It just wouldn't work. It wouldn't feel right in my hands. So I've got to use the Marshall. So let me explain what's going on in the patch. Right at the front is a Weeper wah. It doesn't need to be there. It's just there because I felt like at some points you might want a wah, and you could change it to a volume pedal, whatever. Then there's the Scream 808. Tube Screamer standard settings again for me, gain all the way off and level all the way up. Tone is just above halfway. Then the drive on the amp is at 1. This is the mild. Snapshot. So that obviously, and this is where I get copyright stung now. A lot of chorus on there. I mean, there's a lot of chorus on there. In between the amp and the cab, there is a EQ pedal that is there for your benefit, because you're going to need it. It's as simple as that. You will need that in there to kind of fine tune what's missing or what is too much, and you're going to take that out. You know, this Strat is Seymour Duncan loaded Dave Murray Iron Maiden Strat. Keith Scott actually uses an old Strat, an old 60s Strat. It's single coil as well, but the wire in it, there is a video on YouTube which explains that there's a wiring system in it, that at certain venues he will activate this wiring system, and it will almost turn the first 2 pickups almost like a humbucking sound to get rid of the hum because of the lights. That video does exist. It's on YouTube. You should go and find it. Then we hit a Hall reverb. Nothing crazy on there, just 30% mix. And then we have a ton of chorus because it's the 80s, baby. That's what we did. You know what I'm saying? Vintage digital delay. Again, that's in stereo, but you could run it in mono if you wanted to, but still sound just as good. Retro reel, I kind of like sticking that on most of them patches now. I think it just irons out some of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Shit. It irons out some of the shit in the patch. And then, as always, at the end is the tile reverb. Now, yeah, you've got room now to kind of put a compressor or add some more stuff, or maybe put another dry pedal up there, or do whatever you want. That is totally fine. It's your patch. So the crunch patch kind of gives us this. And it behaves nice as well with the volume pot going down a little bit. You know what I mean? It's all there. Next snapshot is a lead. I mean, it is a lead, but it can also be used for just a general kind of, you know, heavier sound. I'm definitely getting copyright stung for this, but, you know, I'm just doing it for the benefit of you. I'm not doing it for me. Just subscribe, leave a nice comment, and that's it. Solo, that will bring up the delay to about 32%. There's a couple of ways of doing this where solos are concerned. Some people kind of boost the amp. I think if you can adjust your delay as well and kind of get the feedback right and get the mix right, as long as if you're in time with the song, because this is set to quarter notes on tap tempo, you'll get a little bit of a solo boost from the delay as well. I mean, it ain't much, but you'll get enough just to jump above, which is how this was set for me. So yeah, the solo boost, another Bryan Adams song. Tap tempo was a bit slow for that, but there you go. So that it kind of gives you the idea of, you know, there's a lot of chorus on there, there's a lot of delay on there. You get the idea. You knew where I was going with that. And then obviously, you know, the mild, we go back to the mild at the beginning. Gives you that. So that's basically the patch. That is what works for me, you know. And when I did the Bryan Adams gig like years ago, not actually Bryan Adams, when I did the Bryan Adams tribute a few years ago, no one said it doesn't sound anything like Bryan Adams' guitarist. He's fucking way off. It's your shit. No one's ever said that, you know, and nobody would. The main crux of it is to get the amp sounding right and to get it feeling right in your hands as well, because a lot of the time, and I find this with some of the Pink Floyd stuff as well, you know, when I do the Pink Floyd patches, they're not necessarily overdriven that much in real life, but when I do them, I tend to add a little bit more just to give me that bitey edge that I need as a player. So, like I said in the beginning, if you're going to download patches, make sure that you be prepared to adjust them, and if you're going to buy patches, be prepared that you may not be that happy with them from certain people that are making them, you know, and, you know, some are quite accommodating and they will fix that for you and give you help and reach out and touch you in the right place to make it work for you. So yeah, bear that in mind. All right, I hope this helps. This patch will be up down below on Custom Tone. Just go and download it and let me know what you think. And I will be back soon with another one. Thanks for watching. Just slap that notification bell and, you know, stick things in the subscribe, because it helps. It really helps if you subscribe. All right. See you in the next one.